The crisp, mountain air held a secret. The kind of secret that whispers through the pines and echoes off the snow-capped peaks. It was a secret that had been buried deep within the heart of the Alps, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Nestled amongst the towering peaks of the Swiss Alps, a fire raged. It was not just any fire, but a blaze so fierce it lit up the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the serene landscape. The flames danced wildly, consuming everything in their path. It wasn't the comforting glow of a chalet hearth. No, this was a fire born of chaos and destruction, the kind of fire that leaves nothing but ashes and memories in its wake. The wooden beams crackled and groaned under the intense heat as if crying out in agony. This fire consumed a chalet entirely, engulfing 23 bodies within its inferno. The once cozy retreat had become a tomb, a fiery grave for those who sought refuge within its walls. The smoke billowed into the sky, a dark plume that could be seen for miles. The date was October 5th, 1994, a day that would be etched into the annals of history, remembered for the horror that unfolded. It was a day when the world stood still, unable to comprehend the magnitude of the tragedy. The world gasped as news spread of the horrific mass suicide of the Order of the Solar Temple. The headlines screamed of a cult gone mad, of lives lost in a senseless act of devotion. People watched in disbelief as the details emerged, each more shocking than the last. This was no simple tragedy. It was a complex web of deceit, manipulation, and blind faith. The mourners gathered, their faces etched with sorrow and confusion. How could such a thing happen in their peaceful corner of the world? It was the fiery culmination of a bizarre and terrifying ideology, one that extended its tendrils far beyond the idyllic Swiss countryside. The Order of the Solar Temple had roots that spread across continents, drawing in followers with promises of enlightenment and salvation. But in the end, it led only to darkness and death. The Order of the Solar Temple was the brainchild of two men, whose enigmatic presence and dark ambitions would leave an indelible mark on history. First, there was Jacques Breyer, a Belgian homeopath with a penchant for esotericism. Breyer was not just a healer but a seeker of hidden truths, delving deep into the arcane and the mystical. His fascination with the occult and ancient traditions led him to explore the boundaries of conventional medicine, blending it with spiritual and metaphysical elements. He believed that true healing required more than just treating the body. It necessitated a profound understanding of the soul and the cosmos. His partner in darkness was Luc Jouret, a charismatic French doctor with a magnetic hold over his patients. Jouret's charm and persuasive abilities were legendary, allowing him to gather a devoted following. He was not merely a physician but a spiritual guide, leading his followers on a journey through the esoteric and the unknown. Jouret's teachings were a blend of traditional medicine, spiritual enlightenment, and apocalyptic prophecy, creating a potent mix that captivated and controlled his audience. Together, they wove a tapestry of belief that was as alluring as it was deadly. Their combined knowledge and charisma created a powerful synergy, drawing people into their orbit with promises of spiritual awakening and cosmic salvation. They crafted elaborate rituals and ceremonies, each designed to deepen the followers' commitment and belief in their apocalyptic vision. The Order of the Solar Temple was not just a group, it was a way of life, a path to transcendence that demanded absolute loyalty and obedience. They preached a potent cocktail of New Age mysticism, Templar mythology, and apocalyptic prophecy. Their teachings were a complex blend of ancient wisdom and modern spiritualism, promising enlightenment and salvation in a world teetering on the brink of destruction. The Order's doctrine was a labyrinth of esoteric knowledge, secret rituals, and prophetic visions, each layer revealing deeper mysteries and greater promises of power and transcendence. Followers were drawn into a world where the lines between reality and the supernatural blurred, creating a sense of purpose and destiny that was both intoxicating and terrifying. Initiates were drawn in by promises of spiritual enlightenment and transition to a higher plane of existence. Hidden behind closed doors, however, lurked a sinister reality. The Order's rituals were a bizarre mix of ancient symbolism and disturbing theatricality. They spoke of a coming apocalypse, a cleansing fire that would purge the earth. Only the chosen few, they claimed, would ascend to the star Sirius. The first cracks in the Order's facade appeared in 1994 with the murder of Emmanuel Dutoit, the infant son of a member. Jouret, convinced the child was the Antichrist, orchestrated the killing. This act of unspeakable cruelty foreshadowed the horrors to come. It exposed the dark heart beating beneath the Order's veneer of spiritualism. Section 5 Inferno in Switzerland and Canada. Then came the night of October 4, 1994. In Switzerland, chalets in the villages of Chieri and Granges-sur-Salvan became tombs. Simultaneously, across the Atlantic, a fiery demise claimed 5 more victims in Morin Heights, Quebec. The victims, many drugged or shot before the fires were set, were found arranged in a star formation, a chilling testament to their warped beliefs. Section 6 Echoes of Death. The horrors didn't end there. In December 1995, 16 more bodies, again arranged in a star pattern, were discovered in the Vercors region of France. 2 years later, in 1997, 5 members including Jouret and Breyer were found dead in Quebec, victims of a final, desperate suicide pact. The Order, it seemed, had breathed its last fiery breath. Section 7 Unanswered Questions. In the aftermath, questions lingered like smoke. How could such a group operate undetected for so long? What drove its members to such desperate acts? The answers, buried under layers of secrecy and deceit, remain elusive. The Order of the Solar Temple, though seemingly extinguished, left an indelible mark on the world. Section 8 Shadows of Doubt. Whispers persist that the Order didn't die in those flames. Rumors circulate of hidden cells, of a clandestine network biding its time. Some believe Jouret and Breyer, far from deceased, are orchestrating a resurgence from the shadows. These claims, though unsubstantiated, highlight the enduring power of belief and the chilling possibility that the Order's reign of terror may not yet be over. Section 9 A Legacy of Fear. The Order of the Solar Temple serves as a chilling reminder of the seductive power of cults. Founded in 1984 by Joseph de Mambro and Luc Jouret, the Order promised spiritual enlightenment and a path to a higher plane of existence. However, beneath the surface of their seemingly benign teachings lay a dark and sinister reality. The leaders manipulated their followers, exploiting their fears and desires for their own gain. The Order's practices included secret rituals, apocalyptic prophecies, and a strict hierarchy that demanded absolute obedience. As the years went by, the group's activities became increasingly erratic and dangerous. The leaders' paranoia grew and they began to see enemies everywhere. This culminated in a series of tragic events that shocked the world. The devastating consequences of blind faith are starkly illustrated by the Order's tragic end. In October 1994, 53 members of the Order died in a series of mass suicides and murders in Switzerland and Canada. The leaders convinced their followers that they were destined to ascend to a higher spiritual plane, and that death was merely a transition to a new existence. This delusion led to a horrific loss of life, leaving behind a legacy of grief and unanswered questions. The Order's story is a macabre tapestry of delusion and death, serving as a stark warning against the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of seemingly innocuous ideologies. Their story, a macabre tapestry of delusion and death, serves as a stark warning against the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of seemingly innocuous ideologies. The Order's teachings were a blend of New Age mysticism, Christian eschatology, and conspiracy theories. They believed in the imminent end of the world, and the need to prepare for a cosmic battle between good and evil. This apocalyptic vision was used to control and manipulate the members, isolating them from the outside world and making them dependent on the leaders for guidance and protection. The leaders' charisma and the promise of spiritual enlightenment drew people in, but once inside, they found themselves trapped in a web of deceit and manipulation. In the end, the Order's legacy is not one of enlightenment, but of fear, a fear that lingers like a ghost in the shadows of our collective consciousness. The story of the Order of the Solar Temple is a cautionary tale about the dangers of blind faith and the seductive power of charismatic leaders. It reminds us to question, to seek the truth, and to be wary of those who promise easy answers to life's complex questions. The fear that the Order instilled in its members and the wider world serves as a haunting reminder of the potential for darkness within human nature. As we reflect on their story, we are reminded of the importance of critical thinking and the need to remain vigilant against those who seek to exploit our fears and vulnerabilities for their own gain.